Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time seeing my channel, I used to review cartoon series anime series. So what's up in computer random? Today going to be a cartoon conspiracy theory of Black Cat from Villainous. Now the question is, what is Black Cat? Who is he? Where did he come from? How does he work? There's so many questions to understand who is Black Hat because honestly, what is he? Because he could be human, alien, god, demon. We just don't know. But the show, the creator Alan, actually gives sort of hints what he is and how he was created. One of them that he was sort of inspired the old-fashioned villain, the classical villain, the villain that has gentleman clothing and a really long mustache. You've probably seen those class of villains for term or cartoons. He was sort of inspired by that and kind of drew design something similar. Believe it or not, Black Hat should have a mustache. The creator Alan wanted him to have a mustache, but he kind of realized that sort of style of mustache doesn't really match his character design, but at the very end, it still worked well, the mustache. But besides that, the second thing is so interesting about Black Cat is basically he did not came from Earth. He came out of space to help all the villains. That's one of those that information was confirmed of Ask Me Anything sort of websites that Alan actually answered for his fans. The third thing we know is Black Hat doesn't really get recorded of anything in the cameras, video cameras, phone cameras, when you name something to record, you can't actually record him because they go all foggy. And the fourth thing you know about Black Cat is the fact he eats puppies. I don't know why he has to eat puppies, he just needs to. And that is sort of disturbing. Anyway, I think that's all the things was sort of known about Black Hat. I could missing something, but I wasn't that sure. But besides that, we can form a sort of idea what is Black Cat because he came from outer space, so he's not human. So he sort of could be a god or sort of a new being creature from a different race. We don't know. But if you have to type him as a demon, could be, but once more, demon is sort of subjective. You also human, I mean God, and also alien, because most of them don't really exist on Earth. If you believe the scientific way that those type of beings, if they do exist, they never exist on Earth. They have to come from somewhere else. Or if you're religious, God came from outer space, or which other creature came from somewhere else. Or the second thing that falls down to is basically Black Cat is sort of the idea of an image of evil. I think one of the big examples for that type of god is basically Aku for Samurai Jack because he is sort of the idea, or in this case, the essence of evil. And Black Cat sort of fall to the same level of Aku, but the difference is Aku could be, I'm not Aku, Black Cat could be way more stronger than Aku because the type of character can do almost anything. His power set is sort of limitless. I mean, he has about maybe 30 different types of powers. I will name a few. He can teleport, shapeshift to anything, to human or animate object. He could brainwash. He can do laser beam. He's super strong, super speed, and etc. He can basically do almost anything. And he also don't has sort of a weakness, at least for right now. If the creator decides he has a weakness, he doesn't show it right now. In fact, if he has one, how you can use it or actually kill him, the only object I can actually think of off the top of my head is basically Samurai Jack's sword, because that sword is built for honest, pure person. Basically, the pure soul of a human, his belief and trust. So it makes sense something that magical can hurt Black Cat. I don't know if can kill him or at least tempering damage him for a little while. But that's rely on another second question. Can you actually damage Black Cat? And that is kind of interesting because in the show or the miniseries, you do see his clones get frozen with normal magic items, like a Medusa head can actually freeze one of his clones. But what's more, a clone is basically a weaker version of the original. So I don't know how much is true is that. And secondly, I think Black Cat is sort of idea or sort of a god type. And the only problem is there are basically 11 type of gods or 11 type of cliche gods. Even that is sort of cliches because there are a lot of versions of it. Some versions sort of cross over with a different version of gods. Yeah, I want to say he's sort of a idea god of evil. He also the idea of death. He probably those two, but in the very end, a death god is sort of sympathetic or sort of neutral to everybody around him because he has nothing to gain of anyone. He's just doing his job if he's a death god. But in the end, he's not. So he's sort of the image of a deal of evil. In a way, I want to say yes, but at the same time, maybe no, because he just want to become chaos. He enjoys it. In fact, he's so powerful that he doesn't really want to fight anyone. In fact, you watch this whole series, he never barely lifts a finger because he feels there is no point. Everybody is beneath him. And the fact is sort of true because how OP he really is. And his limit, we don't know. In fact, who could you can actually think of the most powerful two characters of the world like Goku or Superman or the Monkey King combine their strength to take down Black Cat, they certainly lose because Black Cat doesn't have a weakness or he never gets tired. He's always awake. He never sleeps. He can actually eat. In fact, I think he can only eat suffering of other people, or at least I think he feeds on people knowing his existence because how much fear he gives out to heroes or villains or whatever neutral you really are, because his existence, the only thing he cares is about the deal and about fear, and I think that's he feeds on. But the question is, you remove that fear of him, you can actually get rid of his power. But once more, that's just a theory. What he is to me, he is, I think, the image of evil, the idea of his existence. He must basically keep promoting himself, must keep selling out his image, his equipment to help other villains to believe in him so his existence could be real, because this is the only way a god works, at least in theory. God only has his power if they believe in him, and I think that's what the angle of Black Cat really is. That's sort of kind of between crossing over a death god and the idea of evil god. That's what he really is. Or something else. Maybe he's just a pure alien. His whole race is just sort of OP. He could kill everyone if he wanted to, but he decided not to. Basically, I think he could be also a kind of Spawn type of character. His power is just sort of limitless. So yeah, that's another thing could be possible. In fact, I'm wondering, what is your theory of Black Cat if you lasted so long in this video? Because let's face it, Black Cat is sort of an enigma. You don't know who he actually is or what he does things. I think that's also another problem. A lot of people can't get into the Villainous because they can't understand or relate to Black Cat because they need a sort of a motivation. At the same time, Black Cat motivation is just to do business. If you don't relate to it or at least don't understand it, sometimes a great villain, you do not need a great answer. You just see his work. You just see him, how happy he is, what he does, because he is completely free. And I think that's the reason why I really enjoy Black Cat, because you really don't know what he does. The only thing he cares about is the contract, and that's it. And I think that's why you can't make him through unpredictable. You don't know, he easily changes his mind or just quits. He does want to leave out of the earth and go to a different area, or who knows, maybe his other race are equally as evil, or Black Cat actually is a special creature with his own race. He's one up powerful, or could be weaker with the other alien creatures who the same race as him. Once more, this could go in any direction. It only depends of the creator, what he wants to make about this character. But hopefully they never answer any questions, because why Black Cat works so well is that question mark. Who is he? why he does this, what his motivation is. And sometimes, for a good villain, you don't need an answer. I mean, you can have a great answer, but it doesn't mean it will be a satisfying one. Well, that's pretty much that's it of my theories of what is Black Cat. I think he's basically of the idea of evil, and he just eats or at least supports these ideas around him to be existent. That's basically my sort of answer of this theory. Now I have one question. When you think about this theory, the theory works and doesn't for you. Tell me down below. Let me know. I really got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day.